What's going on, guys? Commander Santa here, and welcome back to another episode of Jubilee Gardens. As usual, I'm joined by RubleTrillions.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. So, how was your break?
Oh, excellent. I played a lot of other games other than Planet Coaster, so it was nice to get a little bit of a break, but I also couldn't stay away either. I did play it a little bit.
You did show me a few things you were working on, so I lasted the same thing. I did nothing but play other games until recently when I'm like, okay, I have to work on Jubilee now.
Yeah. Yeah, basically if we wouldn't have recorded when we are now, it would have been like another 2 weeks probably for another episode to come out.
Another 2 weeks.
I'm glad you were able to pound through this, and even though you had some issues along the way.
Yeah, which is fine. I got enough done, and it's going to open up to what you were doing, so this actually works out really well. And we don't have to wait another 2 weeks.
Even better.
Yeah, so we actually get something out in January.
Right.
So, as you guys can probably tell, this is going to be a live episode today because I didn't record anything. Over break, I went through several different computer issues, but everything is good now, I think.
Yeah, and on that topic, if you guys would leave a comment below and just let us know like how much you actually like the time lapse, because at this point I don't really necessarily know if anyone's doing anything super unique in terms of building process, and both of us, I know it takes a lot of time to put together the time lapse, so it would be easier for us to just do these real-time episodes. So leave a comment below and let us know what you prefer. If you guys really like them, we'll still keep doing them, but it's definitely easier for us to just do the real-time like this. So
yeah, especially with like Jubilee stuff. I mean, it's some of this build probably has 24 to 30 hours of work into it.
Right, and then you talk about trying to condense that into a time lapse, and really it's probably like multiple episodes and things like that. So
so it's just easier just to do a walkthrough at the end. And if you guys ever want like a little bit more walkthrough, like, hey, how did you do this? Feel free to like hit us up on Discord or whatever. We'll gladly talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess let's get into it. I just started off here because, as you can see, I added these 2 planters that are here. You ended up making these.
Yeah,
around
in the
your
last
arcade.
Yeah, and just adding that little bit makes this area feel so much more finished than it did
before. Oh my
before,
god!
So.
Yeah, because I took one look at this. I'm like, this place is huge right here. There's a huge plaza with like nowhere to sit down at all.
Yeah, and then you added those benches underneath the exit exit line as well.
Yep.
Nice.
So you can sit there and wait. But yeah, I guess we'll transition and come down here.
I see lots of fences.
Yeah, I added a bunch of fencing. Awesome. This is something I wasn't sure about, but I added this little drain because this was, I think, what was it, Wings and Strings that did that?
Yeah, he did a ton of the drainage stuff,
which was such
in No Name Landia. Yeah,
such a great idea. So this is actually a low spot for here with our terraforming, and it actually dumps right out right here.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really nice touch. Yeah. Especially given the location of our park, we're gonna need that kind of stuff all over the place.
Yes, for sure.
With the river nearby and all that. So, but that looks really, really good. And I like the fence you put up too, to the left where Mr. Twister is. I didn't really know what to do there when I was working on it. So thank you for finishing that. Looks awesome.
Yeah, I originally was going to have like an overlook area right here where you can look at the coaster, but then it crashed and it didn't save any of it. So I didn't want to do that again.
Well, the final result was good, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt the drain would be a good idea to drain into this like natural pond here because where Mr. Twister is, it's kind of low. So they would probably want to try and drain as much water from sitting here over somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with the wooden supports and stuff. But as you can see, there's a few new things over here, if you can already tell.
Yeah.
Feel free to point out what you want to look at first. There's something over here, and then obviously
let's just keep going down the path on the left there.
Sure. I added restrooms.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need plenty of those.
This went through probably 5 different designs until I got something I actually liked. And I stole your walls right here.
Oh, nice. Are those from the ones I did up, the restroom up by Mr. Twister?
Yeah, the restrooms
okay.
and lockers.
Nice.
They're actual restrooms.
You have drinking fountains? Awesome.
Yeah, they're the worst drinking fountains, so I'm not even going to zoom into them.
They look legit from where you're at now. That's
exactly. But yeah, there's, stuff there. I worked on the backstage behind this area a little bit.
Oh, nice. That's
so this
really
is
nice.
Actually legitimate. So you have access to maybe whatever control panels behind this ride you did.
Yeah.
A door in the back of here, garbage vents, hangout spot if you want to take a break.
Yeah, I love that.
This is obvious. So I checked. This will fit through that door you had here.
Sweet. Perfect.
So I put up these pylons here so you don't drive into this area.
Okay.
This is backstage access to the arcade.
Nice.
And there's lighting and stuff.
Oh, and you added lights too. Perfect.
Yeah. There's actually white lights back here. Yeah, and a bench.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I
know you said you were doing some backstage stuff, but that looks great.
I got really excited with the backstage stuff. This is only part 1.
Nice. Dude, that's perfect. That brings that whole area together so well. Once I did the arcade and that flat ride, I had no idea kind of how to make it all work together, and you filled it in really well. That looks really good.
It looks really nice. The only other thing I was thinking about was maybe an access door right here to get to the under parts of Mr. Twister.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
In case they needed that, but I tried to keep it simplistic, concrete, crude, but still elegant in such a way.
Yeah, no, that looks great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I guess I'll come out this door because this is the best shot of what I built. This is the cafe.
That looks so good, dude. Galley Cafe.
Yes, it's Galley Cafe after my favorite Planet Coaster series.
Where's episode 2, Mike?
I don't know. Where is it, Mike?
Oh my god, that's awesome.
But yeah, this is
the building is beautiful.
It's pretty much just a cafe. There's nothing inside that you can use aside from something in the back.
Okay.
So we saw this earlier. This is right by the bathrooms. So this would be, you can come hang out on this porch here. I slammed the Jubilee logo on there because it looks nice.
I really like the little holding pond you did there. For one, it just breaks up the area nicely, but also we don't have to put in 10 buildings there.
Yeah. So
solid idea.
I couldn't really fit in a ride here because we actually could use a ride over here, but I couldn't fit one in, and I didn't want to make another building because it wouldn't look as good as this. So I just put a pond.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. That cafe is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I'll probably throw in some cinematic shots while we're looking at this anyway, but yeah. There's 3 entrances. So you have this left entrance here, center entrance with an awning and stuff, and then a side entrance or hangout spot over here.
Nice.
But yeah, there's stuff on the roof here.
Oh, yeah, you did ventilation and all
ventilation
that.
stuff.
Awesome.
This would be where the kitchen is probably, so smokestacks.
Nice.
In case they're cooking. Yeah.
Dude, great job.
I fucking love this building.
Yeah, that looks so awesome.
I did.
This one. Will you zoom out just a little bit?
Sure.
Back up that other path. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that looks so good, man.
Thanks.
Great job.
And it just looks great with Mr. Twister, hanging over all of it.
Yes.
It took me forever to figure out what trees to put here. I'm not even sold on these trees here because I feel it blocks a little bit too much. But
I don't know.
At the same time,
it's okay. Yeah.
At the same time, from here, look at that view.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then it's just, you can see everything from here.
Yeah. Oh, this looks so good, dude.
I added this here because I think this would be a good spot for that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes sense. This sort of junction area. It's kind of like a plaza, but it's also a thoroughfare for people. So
yeah. Then the next thing, I added a guessing game.
That's awesome.
I did show you this.
Yeah. That's really cool. Where did you? So I know when we were talking about your build that we'd thrown out a couple of parks to do like Google Street View on. So where did you pull some of this stuff from?
Especially this was Darien Lake, because I remember that we have a guessing game there, and I ended up just kind of like trying to find a street view of that, but we don't have one. But I found a bunch of pictures, and one of the first pictures was the guessing game, and I was like, holy crap, that's a great idea. Because I had the same issue as over by where the lake was. I kind of wanted another building here, but I couldn't fit anything.
Yeah. And so for people that have never seen that kind of game, explain the premise.
So you pretty much walk up to this, and some guy's going to haggle you to do it. He's going to either try and guess when you were born, like your birthday, or how old you are, and then he's also going to try and guess your weight. If he guesses it right, you don't win, and I think if he guesses it wrong, you do win.
Don't they usually have like a range though?
Yeah, they have a range. Yeah, they have to get like certainly close. It's not like exact.
You're between the ages of 20 and 40.
Yeah. I think some of them's within like, I think for the age it's within like 5 years or something like that.
Okay.
Weight is usually a little bit nicer because sometimes you can be mean with the weight, I think.
That's awesome though. That's good too, because it in addition to the cafe, it's just another little money making thing right here in a area where you're going to get a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of the things we were talking about a little bit on the Bro Nation Discord. It's kind of trying to draw people to these certain locations. So kind of like flat ride placement in the same thing. We've kind of adjusted and placed flat rides in certain locations where it's completely visible from path work. So at certain junctions, we'll be able to see that ride. So you'll get drawn over there. But also, like, if we were down this path, let's just say, you can get drawn to, like, these flashy lights of the guessing game. And you get over here and you're like, oh, there's a cafe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I added, like, bollards and stuff so people don't, like, run into people in this door. It's kind of nifty.
Yeah, it looks really good, man.
Yeah. And then the last-ish thing I added was this building right here.
Oh, awesome. Like a little ice cream shop?
Yeah, milkshakes, ice cream, whatever.
Dude, all of this fits in so well together.
Yeah. This is the building I actually built twice.
So this is something you hadn't shown me any photos, but we kind of talked about this area on Discord, and one thing we kind of decided is that so everything basically you just did, and including like Mr. Twister and then the arcades and stuff, would have been like, older aspects of the park. And then the stuff that Mineral did would have been like newer additions, but trying to blend into the sort of traditional theme park architecture and ride theming. So I think now this whole entire area makes sense from a logical standpoint and functionally too. And it looks awesome. So I'm really impressed with the work you did this time.
Oh, don't worry, there's more. But kind of going off of that, I tried my best to get these buildings to look like they're an older style building that they possibly repainted to actually like refurbish it and make it look really nice.
Yeah.
So I try to use like the olden wood and painted wood, I think is the model. And then kind of like accent it with different things. Make them look like old American style buildings and stuff, but then it really shows in the blue though.
Yeah, for sure.
You almost got kind of like a graininess to the paint. Mm-hmm. So it looks like it was not freshly painted, but painted, but then worn down again, know?
Yeah.
And then like the white stuff, they would like paint over every maybe 5 years to keep it bright, but they won't care too much about the blue, I guess. Kind of like that. That was my thought process going through that.
Yeah. No, I think it all looks awesome.
So the last thing I added pretty much was another backstage area. So
nice.
I put staff rooms in here.
Oh, cool. So they actually use them?
They'll actually come and hang out.
Oh,
and
nice.
So since these are the only staff rooms here, they all come from everywhere and walk to the back here and hang out back here.
Nice.
Which is
so
super
it's kind of
neat.
like a break area type thing. Yeah.
So there's one in here, one in the back of this building. And yeah, that's all I pretty much did.
Nice.
But yeah, this is
that
like
looks great.
A small little backstage area, which is pretty nifty.
Yeah, I feel like this is some really, really solid progress. Like, every once in a while we get caught where we're like, all right, what the hell do we do next? And then we kind of break through and it's like, oh yes, we're finally making some major progress again. So
yeah, so I mean, great. If we look at the overview of the park, aside from this mess right here, this area is like super done.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I still have to do the queue for Mr. Twister, but
yeah.
Other than that, it looks fantastic.
That's hidden over there.
Yeah.
The only other thing I did was try and do some different pathwork coming from over here.
Okay.
Maybe lay foundations for other things. I still don't know what we're going to do here.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's why I'm leaving it for you.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
I'm sure.
To make it make sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I did. Yeah, pretty much.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man.
I mean, everyone
we should probably talk about that.
Yeah, everyone on Bro Nation Discord knows I did try to do boats. So with the new adventure pack, there is a boat ride, and our bridges are way too low, or the boats are way too big.
Yep. Yeah, and the bridges would be like basically impossible to make taller. So
yeah, completely impossible to make taller without them looking like complete crap.
Yeah. So I might have a second go at the boats I made. not on a stream where I'm distracted, but yeah. So unfortunately we won't have the working transport with the water ride, but the boat itself too was a little bit over themed anyway. So
I mean, I think it looks fine.
Yeah, no, I mean it over themed for our park.
That's very true. Yes.
Yeah. So.
The only other thing I did was start to add a train station over here, but I couldn't really go anywhere with it because I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it.
Yeah, and this area too, it's probably better that you didn't, because some of the stuff that I showed you, I'm probably going to kind of add over in this area. So
sure,
it's probably better you didn't anyway, so then we don't have to move it or redo things. So.
And I'm not completely set on this location either after putting this Ferris wheel right here, because it ends up being a little bit too tight.
Yeah, and I might do something similar with the Ferris wheel. I might move it back a little bit from there, just because I don't know. I'll have to get in and mess around with the terrain, but I don't know if I'll be able to recreate that berm in there with it that close to the paths.
That's very true, yes.
So,
otherwise, I really like that location of the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks good from pretty much anywhere. I mean, you can see it from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
And it keeps the logo kind of somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is why I tried that.
Yeah, I like how you repurpose the logo, like the sign throughout this area.
Yeah, because they'd have park branding all over the place.
Yeah.
After they refurb some things, they'd throw the sign as much as possible to just so you remember where you are, pretty much.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, awesome job, man. I'm really impressed with everything you got done.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. I'm happy to be back in the seat for sure.
Yeah.
I love working in Jubilee so much.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's kind of why I kept working over the break, is because after the last episode, I had kind of like a renewed burst of creativity, and I just wanted to keep working while I had that. So, yeah, I'm at a place with Jubilee now where I'm like pumped to get back into it again. So,
yeah, and as the park develops more, we're starting to get some really good-looking sight lines, I have to say. Especially with like everything mineral added, like this right here is going to be great. Especially when we finish putting stuff over on this side with this roller coaster with chainsaw. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, that's all
I love how. I think my favorite thing about this area is how you really kept the paths in scale. As you transition between the cafe and the Monteleone ride and then the Skizzer or whatever, if from up at this altitude, it's a pretty sizable area from a plaza standpoint, but because you added sort of the planters in there and broke up the paths a little bit, it doesn't feel massive. That's something that in some of the Google Street Views, I really noticed that I kind of tried to implement the last episode. And I think if we can continue to do that, it'll really help break up the park and make it feel more intimate, even if it's a little bit spread out.
Yeah. I was talking to someone on our Discord today, actually, about that a little bit. Because one of the issues with Planet Coaster is once you keep... The paths themselves are very large, as we all know. And once you start doing forks everywhere in the pathways,
you
tend to get these really huge areas. And I told him kind of what I did here, where you just start to like turn those forks into little plaza areas and break them up, put seating, and especially now when we have these actual little tables and chairs and stuff that actually are usable, just put those right there and make them a little seating area.
Yeah, because like right now, the point of view we have, it's a pretty sizable area, but then if you zoom down in and like get in by the cafe, it doesn't feel massive.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so great job.
Thanks. I mean, I definitely can use a little bit more chairs, and that's the thing people omit a lot in their parks, I found, is seating.
I forget them a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're correcting those things.
Like, ever since I started doing Google Street View stuff of like parks, and like there is a lot of chairs in parks that you just kind of like don't even notice because your mind just blanks them out. And then when you come to a game like this, it looks so blank when you don't have anything, you know?
Yeah. And one thing that I've noticed too with parks in Google Street View is that there's a lot of repetition of building and restaurants. Like, especially if you do like a Google Street View of Knott's, they have like the same style of building almost all over the entire park. And you'll walk to one area and it'll be like the same like crappy like steak fry stand and corn dog and like funnel cake, and then you
Panda
walk to another
Express.
area, and it's like the exact same thing. So I think a trap that's easy to get into is to think that everything has to be original and new, when in reality most parks repeat a lot of the same stuff and copy stuff and move it over to other areas. And so that's something I'm going to be less sort of ADD about as we move forward. So
yeah, I mean, when you think about it, when they'll get a bunch of blueprints and they'll try and build everything together, and they'll usually go through one or two contractors that get the bid for it. So roughly things will be semi-similar, which is why I tried to do that here with these buildings here. They're all relatively similar buildings. So it just kind of keeps it all together.
I mean, it makes sense that it's something that would have been all built at the same time.
Yeah. Especially if this is the original stuff, this might have been the original part of the park where they just did this, open it up, and start waiting for money to roll in so they can add more.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got for here.
Awesome.
Do you want to talk about what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that I've been working on off. I've recorded it, but leave a comment if you want us to keep doing time lapses. But I have some recorded footage of what I've been working on. So I've got a coaster and a flat ride that's not technically working. It doesn't function. So those are some things I'm going to put in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try to tidy up the Mr. Twister queue, and I still have to finish the roof on the Monteleone. And then after that, we're probably going to have 2 guest builders. Maybe not right in a row, depending on what they work on, but we've got 2 guest builders lined up here in the first part of the year. So hopefully get some fresh eyes and some fresh ideas in the park, and maybe one of them can make some sense of the area up.
Yeah, maybe we'll let them do this. Yeah. I think it was last episode we were going to try and button up this area so they can do whatever they want, but no, we can just stick them with this.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just it would be hilarious if that ends up being the very last thing we do.
Yeah, we finished the whole entire part.
It off, just keep burying our head in the sand on it.
Which, that's the funny part. I mean, like, there's a lot of things we can put in here, but we just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to do this episode. I was going to fix this area right here because I wanted to fill this in so we can give it off to our guests. And then I got caught up over here because it was more fun.
Well, that's an important part too, because that, a combination of being in a creative drought plus not having fun playing the game, it can be brutal. That's how I felt when I was before the last episode, when I was working on all the parking stuff and like redoing the spawn points and all of that stuff. I was like not having fun playing the game, and then when I got into the Midway games, I was like having fun again. So there's a balance between doing the work that has to be done because it makes the park look that much more finished and realistic, and then the stuff that's actually fun to do. So.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in a rut until this for sure.
Nice.
And now I'm like excited again.
Good.
But yeah, I guess we'll end the episode here. So thank you all for watching. We appreciate all your support. Make sure to leave a comment, any ideas, and if you like a certain time lapse or the other way. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See you guys.